It's gonna be a long one, so make yourself some tea or something. The main point of this class is to learn how to make marketing decisions. There are eight parts of this class: product, price, promotion, place, people, processes, physical evidence, and appropriateness of marketing mix. Even though there are 8 parts of this class, there are 12 assessment objectives to this class. So make sure you have a thorough look at these assessment objectives, because this is the most important thing ever. Now, before we move on to the first part of this class, let me just introduce the main concept of this class, which is marketing mix, or 7 Ps. Basically, marketing mix is a set of decisions in product marketing that need to be made by managers. Remember that all businesses provide products. Products can be tangible, goods, and intangible, services. For goods, there are only 4 decisions to make. 4 Ps: product, price, promotion, and place. For services, in addition to the 4 Ps that I've just mentioned, there are 3 extra Ps: people, processes, and physical evidence. So it's 4 Ps for goods and 7 Ps for services. Now let's begin and move on to the first part. As I mentioned in the introduction, and as we learned in Unit 1, products can either be tangible and intangible. Tangible products are goods, and intangible products are services. In addition to tangibility or intangibility, we can divide products based on who they are directed to. For example, if products are for us, for common people, for consumers, then these are consumer products. For example, anything you can buy in a supermarket would be a consumer product. But if products are for other businesses, then these are producer products. Consumer products are B2C, business to consumer, and producer products are B2B, business to business. I would say that for IB Business Management course, the most important category of products is consumer products. This refers to stuff that we normal people usually buy every day. Consumer products can be also divided into many groups, depending on their durability or depending on customers' purchasing habits. I'm not gonna delve into that too much, but I would like you to learn some very important terms that relate to products. The first one is FMCGs. FMCG means fast-moving consumer goods. These are goods that actually do not have an expiration date, but we use them pretty often, so they wear off really quickly and we buy them pretty often. Some examples are toilet paper or toothbrush. Let's say you bought a toothbrush. If you just keep it, nothing's gonna happen to it for 100 or 200 years or even eternity. But since you use it, maybe in a week or two you're gonna have to buy another toothbrush. That is why it is a fast-moving consumer good, because you have to purchase goods like this pretty often. They're called FMCGs, fast-moving consumer goods. Another group of products is called perishables. As you can see from the name, it refers to goods that perish really quick. For example, food. The opposite of perishables is durables. It refers to products that can last for a very long time. Washing machine or car or computer. And the last category of goods that we're going to learn is called specialty goods. These are goods that have unique characteristics and that are usually distributed through limited distribution channels. For example, designer clothes. So once again, these 4 categories, FMCGs, perishables, durables, and specialty goods, refers to consumer goods, which are tangible products that are for common, normal people. This part of class, product, the product decision of the marketing mix or the product element of the marketing mix, is really heavy in terms of information. So let me break it down for you. We're going to talk about product from 2 perspectives. We'll talk about 2 aspects of products: product life cycle and branding. For now, let's focus on product lifecycle only. If you have a thorough look at the assessment objectives for this part of class, you will see that 2 out of 4 assessment objectives are about relationships of product lifecycle with other things. The first one is relationship between product lifecycle, product portfolio, and the marketing mix. And the second one is relationship between product lifecycle, investment, profit, and cash flow. So what we are trying to learn now is 2 relationships of product lifecycle with other stuff. 2 relationships. Please remember that. For starters, I'm going to explain what product lifecycle is and what all these things that product lifecycle relates to are. Product portfolio, marketing mix, investment, profit, and cash flow. And then, after my explanations, you hopefully will be able to understand what the relationships between product lifecycle and all these things are. So, product lifecycle is a succession of stages that a product goes through from launch to decline. As you can see in this picture, there are 2 axes on this chart, sales and time. And there are 5 stages of product lifecycle: R&D, research and development, launch or introduction, growth, maturity or saturation, and decline. So now you have a basic understanding of what product lifecycle is. The next item on the list is product portfolio. Product portfolio refers to all the products that organization offers. Basically, it's like a menu of an organization. So product portfolio of Apple, for example, would be iPhone, iMac, MacBook, Apple Watch, etc., etc. All the products that Apple offers are its product portfolio. All organizations want to know whether their products are sold well or not well, what can be improved or not, and the process of evaluating all the items from the product portfolio is called product portfolio analysis. There are plenty of ways how to do product portfolio analysis, but the one that is usually studied by all business management students is BCG matrix, or Boston Consultancy Group matrix. This is actually a business tool from the business management toolkit, but I'm going to say a few words about it here anyway. BCG matrix is another matrix that has 2 axes: market growth and market share. Based on these 2 axes, you can divide all the products in the product portfolio into 4 categories. Products that have a high market share in a growing market are called stars. Products that have a high market share in a market with a slow growth are called cash cows. Products with high market growth and low market share are called question marks, and products with low market share in markets that do not have high market growth are called dog products. Students naturally think that the best product in BCG matrix is a star, because everything is high market growth, high market share. Actually, from manager's perspective, the most preferable product, the ideal product, is a cash cow. This is when you have a high market share, but market is not growing, so you can just reap the benefits and milk the cash cow. Please remember that star is not the best product in BCG matrix. The best one is actually a cash cow. So now you know what product life cycle is and what product portfolio is, and what are the 4 types of products in product portfolio based on BCG matrix. The next thing on the list is marketing mix, that I have already explained in the introduction to this class. It is a set of decisions about marketing that all organizations have to make. There are 4 decisions, 4 P's for goods, and 7 decisions, 7 P's for services. Now, remember the first assessment objective for this class, to explain the relationship between product life cycle, product portfolio, and marketing mix? See, sounds like you are ready to do that. But since product life cycle is quite hard to apply to services, we are only going to consider 4 P's. Believe me, it's enough. So in order to achieve this assessment objective, I'm going to ask you to fill in this table as you listen to what I'm saying. You can see the 5 stages of the product life cycle on the left, and you can see the 4 elements of the marketing mix on the right, and in the product column, please indicate what type of product it is at different stage of product life cycle in terms of BCG matrix categories. Is it a cash cow, a star, a dog, or a question mark? So this is the first relationship. You're ready. You're ready to start filling in this table and figure out what the relationship between all these things is. But remember, there are two relationships. The second relationship is relationship of product life cycle and investment, profit and cash flow. We have learned all of these things, profit, investment and cash flow, in Unit 3. If you forgot what that is, I will briefly remind you and I will direct you towards Unit 3 if you need some more revision or more details about these three concepts. So, profit is the positive difference between revenues and costs. If the difference is negative, it's not called profit, it's called loss. The statement, the financial statement, the final account where you can see organization's profit is called profit and loss account. This is something that we learned in 3.4. Cash flow is the total amount of cash inflows and outflows that affect liquidity of an organization. This is something that we learned in 3.7. The financial statement that indicates predictions for future cash flows is called cash flow forecast, and the document for the past cash flows is called cash flow statement. Now, investment in IB course refers to purchase of long-term assets that will potentially generate future earnings. There are three types of investment appraisal tools that we learned. They are payback period, average rate of return, and net present value for higher level students only. If you forgot what that is, then please watch class 3.8. So once again, one of the objectives for this class is to explain the relationship between stages of the product life cycle and investment, profit and cash flow. Now again, you're totally ready to figure out that difference and fill in this table. So what we're going to do now is to achieve these two assessment objectives that talk about relationship of product life cycle and a bunch of other stuff. The way we're going to do that is I'm going to talk about each stage of the product life cycle, and in what I'm saying, you will find out the relationships to product portfolio, elements of the marketing mix, investment, profit and cash flow. As you listen, fill in this table, relationship number 1, and that table, relationship number 2. Let me tell you one really important thing, guys. Now, as you listen to what I'm saying about product life cycle, you might feel a little bit lost or unclear or like you don't have enough information. This is completely fine. Now you only get the basic information. Later on, when you learn all the elements of the marketing mix, price, promotion, place, you will have a better understanding of these relationships. So I highly recommend you to make notes now, and then when you finish this video class, to go back to your notes, revisit them, and maybe add some more extra information. So treat this kind of learning as dynamic, as something that you revisit all the time and update. This is completely fine. Please don't feel bad that you're lost, that you don't understand something. I'm sure towards the very end of the video, you will have a clear understanding of all relationships of product life cycle with all the things listed in assessment objectives. Good luck! To make it easier for you to memorize the stages of the product life cycle, I'm going to use one emoji per stage of the product life cycle. R&D, launch, growth, maturity, decline. So the first stage is called R&D. This is the research and development stage of the product life cycle. Actually, research and development is something that we will learn in more detail in Unit 5, but of course I'm going to talk about it now anyway. One important thing at R&D stage is that a prototype of a good is usually produced at this stage. Prototype is the initial version of a product from which the later versions are developed. There can be several prototypes before the launch of the actual version or just one. It doesn't matter, but I want you to know what prototype is. It's an important term. Now, in some literature, you will see that R&D is not even included in product life cycle. That is because sales are not made at this stage at all. So in some literature, R&D is not even part of product life cycle, because there's no product as such, no sales, and no marketing mix. Similar to the product element of the marketing mix, the remaining three elements are also in research and development stage. Everything is in development stage: product, price, promotion, and place. This stage highly relies on investment. R&D is something that needs a lot of investment. In addition, since the initial version of the product is not released, is not launched yet, there are no profits made at this stage. It's only costs and only cash outflows. So now you are ready to fill in the first line, R&D, of this table and that table. Introduction or launch is the stage of the product life cycle when the product becomes available for purchasing for the first time. Product at this stage is either star or question mark. Remember that according to BCG matrix, star is a product with high market growth and high market share, and question mark is a product with high market growth and low market share. Actually, question mark is more likely at the launch stage. Price for products depends on elasticity of demand. This is something that we will learn in detail later in the second part of this class. But for now, it means that the more alternatives a product has, the lower its price tends to be. And if there are no alternatives, if the product is unique, then maybe the price can be high. With regards to promotion, the main goal of promotion at the launch stage is to increase awareness of the product, to make people know that,
hey, here's the product, you should buy it, it's really cool.
With regards to place or distribution, there are very few distribution channels at this stage because it is unclear what demand is like. So place decision is also at the launch stage, because in introduction stage of the PLC, there are very few distribution channels. With regards to investment, it is still pretty high, but all the investment would refer to promotion. Profits are still usually not made at this stage, but organizations start to generate revenues from the sales of the product. Cash flow is usually still negative, but is trying to improve. Growth is the stage of the product life cycle when sales start to grow at a relatively high rate. This is a perfect opportunity for organizations to start using economies of scale. If you forgot what that is, then please review class 1.5. However, at this stage, if you would like to see the full video, explore more content, download study materials, and if you want to try some exam questions and send them for feedback, then you need to get a subscription on levinsky.com. Mind the differences between different subscription levels. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok to explore more business management content there.